Good evening, I'm Ian Hanomansing. Tonight, COVID New Year's Eve again. A curfew shuts down celebrations in Quebec and parties get smaller across the country.
We had to pre-order everything and we couldn't cancel our orders last night.
Businesses struggling to adapt and exhausted Canadians trying to cope.
No matter how you look at these numbers, it's hard to look at them and say that the situation is going well.
How the public health advice is changing.
Time to say hello again.
Star power that spanned generations.
Tonight, we were the king and queen of the rumba.
Olay!
A look back at the incredible career of Betty White. Plus, sometimes the solution starts in your own backyard.
In the summer months, we have 24 hours of daylight. And so this is really the perfect opportunity.
And
if you buy a case of these, you have that uniquely Canadian word, a 2-4.
2-4, toque, hydro, loony, getting recognition for distinctly Canadian words. This is The National. With 2021 coming to an end, the pandemic continues to cast a shadow. But as we try to weather this COVID storm, some experts have optimistic predictions for the year ahead, including BC's provincial health officer.
I do think it will be the year the pandemic ends. I think we'll still be living with COVID, but we'll be living with COVID in an endemic way and have adapted to it.
If there is light ahead in 2022, we aren't there yet. Provinces across the country are struggling to respond to or even count the unprecedented surge in cases. And just in time for New Year's Eve, Quebec has imposed a curfew. As Sarah Levitt explains, that province's measures to tackle the variants are extreme, sudden, and already taking their toll.
How long are we going to be closed now?
The owner of this old Montreal restaurant is struggling to process a sudden shutdown.
It's the third time they closed us down. The first time was 3 months. The second time was 6.
But those came with more notice. This time, costly preparations for New Year's Eve are down the drain.
We had to pre-order everything and we couldn't cancel our orders last night. So there's a lot of food in our fridges. There's a lot of wine in our basements. Wine we won't lose, but food we will.
The Quebec government does say help is coming for restaurants in some form and soon. But the sudden change touches everyone. The curfew and ban on private gatherings is taking its toll on some people's mental health. Thomas Faquet spent his day outside.
Spend time with friends before being locked up and alone tonight. It's a bit exhausting, to just feel like it can keep going for years maybe.
The psychological impact acknowledged by Premier François Legault and experts.
If you're not feeling well, it's important to ask for help.
I can so empathize with how everybody must be feeling right now, a combination of anger and frustration and anxiety and confusion.
The fear is that those feelings will erode compliance with restrictions when they're needed the most.
No matter how you look at these numbers, it's hard to look at them and say that the situation is going well. It's clearly not. If people decide to celebrate New Year's Eve tonight for some reason, then this will drag on for longer than it would otherwise.
Not following restrictions is also costly. The Montreal police say they're ready for curfew, and those who don't obey risk a fine between $1,000 and $6,000.
It's not productive, I think, to stay angry, certainly in the short term. I think in the short term, we really need to do what needs to happen to get out of this.
And Sarah, it's a very different New Year's Eve tonight in Old Montreal.
Ian, this place is normally popping, and as you can see, crickets tonight. The curfew is in effect. There's hardly a soul out except for police.
All right, Sarah, thank you. Once again today, records for new COVID cases were broken right across the country in what's become a daily norm. 8 provinces and territories recording new highs, and the numbers themselves are becoming less and less accurate as many infected people just aren't getting tested. This does, though, give us a sense of the trajectory of the pandemic. Every day it grows bigger than we've seen before. The scramble for tests, coupled with how fast the Omicron variant is spreading, is prompting more rule changes to who can get tested and how long people need to isolate. Marina von Stackelberg walks us through it all.
Thank you very much.
This is the only way many people in Ontario now have to test if they have COVID-19. thousands waiting hours to get their hands on a rapid antigen test.
So I can test, make sure I'm okay to go back to work.
Ontario has stopped trying to track or trace its COVID cases. Labs just can't keep up. So if you have mild symptoms, one of these is your only option. But it's not perfect.
That is giving people a sense of false hope, I think, sometimes.
New data shows rapid tests only detect half of Omicron cases.
The other 50% just stay negative on a rapid test. And that's the problem. If you have a rapid test right now, it doesn't mean anything regarding that you're safe, to meet with other people. That's a blast from the past.
A rapid test is how New Brunswick's premier found out he has COVID.
My family and I are now isolating, and we're all doing well. I have a bit of a cough.
Mild symptoms, Premier Higgs says, thanks to his vaccines. New Brunswick, along with BC, Alberta, and Manitoba, are just the latest provinces to shorten the time someone with COVID-19 has to isolate from 10 days down to 5 if they're vaccinated.
We know that shorter isolation periods are easier to comply with than longer ones. So the more people who comply with that isolation period, the better off we'll be.
It really is entirely related to the incredible blaze of Omicron through the population and the fact that many vaccinated people have fairly minimal symptoms. And if they were all home for 10 days in a row, a lot of society and the way things work would be grinding to a halt.
Some experts say officials should wait until more people have boosters and Canada is on the other side of the Omicron wave before tinkering with isolation times. Marina von Stackelberg, CBC News, Toronto.
This is not the way many people were hoping to end 2021. Quebec, as we saw, has imposed a curfew, and elsewhere parties will be smaller than usual. Chris O'Neill Yates with how COVID is changing New Year's plans coast to coast.
At Mallard Cottage restaurant in St. John's, plans for a sold-out crowd are scuttled.
We did consider not doing it at all and just closing down, but we felt like we didn't want to do that.
Instead of 70 guests, Todd Perrin will serve half that number because of COVID capacity limits.
This year, it seems there's a real pall around, if I would say. The place, the life that normally exists at this time of year in this part of the country has been sucked out.
Restrictions changed plans in Toronto, too.
Our original plan was to sort of live stream from all the different clubs running shows throughout the city, but because of the new provincial restrictions, most folks have canceled their concerts.
In BC, bars and nightclubs are closed, but restaurants and pubs can stay open.
We're a food primary license, so we're lucky enough to be open.
But it's not business as usual. Just 6 people are allowed at a table and no mixing.
Last year at this time, they let us know 24 hours ahead, so maybe we'll be shut down after New Year's, who knows?
All across Canada, health officials are imploring people to scale back their plans.
This is not a night to go party because it is inevitable that somebody that you were with is incubating or is able to spread this virus and may not even realize it themselves yet.
It's a night in for these friends this New Year's Eve.
I feel like my 20s are being stolen from me. It does suck a little bit.
I know for myself I wanted to go backpacking, but that's been put on hold, so not sure if that'll ever be a thing again, which is very sad.
Once again, COVID canceling many plans, leaving an exhausted population hoping for a better 2022. Chris O'Neill Yates, CBC News, Vancouver.
So where plans haven't been canceled, they have been cut back as the world welcomes 2022. In Taiwan, people at this celebration had to register, wear masks, and drink only water. And while Moscow's Red Square was closed off to crowds, many still gathered in the city center to watch. Many countries hit new case records today, including Australia, France, and the UK. Farah Morali shows us how the world celebrated another pandemic New Year.
In the shadow of the London Eye, an unusually empty Westminster Pier. It's the warmest New Year's Eve on record, a balmy 15 degrees, but among the quietest too. The main celebration cancelled, many opting for a muted celebration.
Usually go and see family and stuff like that, but
It's a bit quieter this year, so we thought we'd just get out, just the two of us.
But unlike last year, there are no restrictions on socialization in England, despite another day of record-breaking COVID numbers. The government instead today focused on progress made with boosters.
It's precisely because of that huge national effort that we can celebrate tonight at all. Though I must, of course, urge everyone to be cautious and to take a test if you're going out, and to remember the importance of ventilation.
Meanwhile, Paris is ringing in the new year with an outdoor mask mandate after France hit another record as well. And not everyone is pleased. This woman says she won't adhere to the rules. In New York, too, a scaled-back celebration. Officials limited capacity to 15,000 for the celebration in Times Square, despite public health messaging for people to avoid large gatherings.
Everybody wants this to be over and live our lives again, get our lives back.
Colorful fireworks lit up the sky above Sydney Harbor. Celebrations went ahead, even as that country recorded its highest ever number of coronavirus cases. While 2022 will mark the third year of a pandemic, a sense that things are getting better.
2021 has been a tough year, but there is also a lot to be grateful for.
Back in London, all 4 dials of Big Ben are revealed after conservation work for the first time in 4 years, counting down what many hope are the days toward the end of the pandemic. Farah Morali, CBC News, London.
A new CDC report says the Pfizer vaccine caused mostly mild side effects for the children who received it. The Centers for Disease Control says that some U.S. children 5 to 11 felt fatigue and headache after their second dose. Also, there were 11 cases of heart inflammation. The CDC says 7 got better and 4 are in the process of recovering. Between her character's saucy charm and deadpan delivery, Betty White was a television mainstay for more than 70 years. The beloved actress has passed away just a couple of weeks shy of her 100th birthday. Lindsay Duncombe now, and the woman who defied Hollywood stereotypes.
I'm to say hello again.
There was something so disarming about Betty White's charm.
May I say how nice it is to sit next to one of the most charming, delightful, witty, vivacious persons in television, Betty White.
Oh, you certainly may say that. We don't have to believe it, Bill, but we certainly look
I believe it.
That cheery self-deprecation hid unrivaled talent and drive and power. White began performing on radio in the 30s. She served in the Women's Voluntary Service in the Second World War. By 1949, she was appearing on television daily, 5 hours live.
It was either the test pattern or us, and some of the people like the test pattern.
She was a frequent game show guest. On Password, she met host Alan Ludden and married him. Then this made her a star.
Oh, Lou, it's beautiful.
White won 2 Emmys for her role as the snide and lusty Sue Ann on The Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Thank you for being a friend.
More Emmys would follow for her role as the bumbling bumpkin Rose Nyland on The Golden Girls.
Please forgive me. It wasn't my fault. My cousins have been marrying each other for generations.
The show challenged society's idea of what it meant to be an old lady.
Tonight, we were the king and queen of the rumba.
Olay.
Refill?
Oh, you got that right, Skeletor.
The older Betty White got, the more fun she seemed to have.
What are you doing? Getting drunk.
In her late 80s, another sitcom. Advertisements. A stint hosting Saturday Night Live, another Emmy for that. She was passionate about animals, raising cash and awareness for their safety. People who knew her say this wasn't an act. She really was this nice, this full of joy. It all makes the loss so tough.
That's a shame. She was a lovely lady.
Don't love Betty White.
Ryan Reynolds, who starred with White in 2009's The Proposal and swapped jokes online with her, wrote today, "The world looks different now. She managed to grow very old and somehow not old enough." From LeVar Burton, "We have lost one of the best humans ever." White had been planning a star-studded bash for her 100th birthday in 2 weeks. She didn't make the milestone, but she will certainly be celebrated. Lindsay Duncombe, CBC News, Vancouver.
Several causes of death have been ruled out in the case of Canadian film director Jean-Marc Vallée. He died in his cabin near Quebec City on Christmas Day. The coroner's preliminary report says his death was not self-inflicted or caused by anybody else and that he wasn't ill at the time. Further testing is being done. Fires forced more than 30,000 people from their homes in Boulder, Colorado. The worst wildfire on state record is burning through suburban neighborhoods. Officials are calling it a miracle that so far no one has died. But as Katie Nicholson reports, at least 1,000 homes are gone.
Okay, here we go. It's okay. Frantic moments inside a restaurant as families push against hurricane-force winds to escape. Go. Not far away, shoppers file outside a Costco and into a hellscape. Scenes of two suburban communities forced to run.
We need to evacuate your homes as soon as possible.
Winds gusting 177 kilometers an hour whipped up wildfires in northeastern Colorado.
Coming down this road, the ditches and things and the trees, they're all up in flames, like there's embers everywhere.
Smoke so thick on the highways, drivers could barely see.
God help us.
Entire neighborhoods destroyed. After a brief aerial tour, Colorado's governor estimates as many as 1,000 homes gone.
This is our community, and to watch it burn so quickly, so unexpectedly, is something that I think we're all just struggling to believe and understand.
This is now Colorado's most destructive fire on record. Shocking, given it is December. But this region has been in a drought all fall. Less than 4 centimeters of rain or snow between August and November. As hotspots continue to smolder, many are eager to check on their homes. They have to wait.
It's still too dangerous to return.
There is some relief from a very different kind of extreme weather. A snowstorm bringing 25 centimeters of snow to the region into Saturday. But for those who lost their homes, a brutal end to a brutal year and a terrible way to start the new one. Katie Nicholson, CBC News, Washington.
And now to a breaking story. CBC News has learned that a compensation agreement has been reached to settle a landmark Canadian Human Rights Tribunal ruling on Indigenous child welfare compensation, according to sources close to the negotiations. The parties to the dispute, including the federal government on one side and the First Nations Child and Family Caring Society and the Assembly of First Nations on the other, agreed to negotiate until a self-imposed deadline of December 31st, today. Details are expected at a joint news conference on Tuesday. Afghanistan is once again in desperate need of international aid, but governments are worried that supplies sent to that country could end up in the hands of the Taliban. And as Travis Danraj reports, that's leaving millions of children at risk of illness and starvation. And a warning, some of the video you're about to see is upsetting.
This is 2-year-old Camilla. She lays in a packed Kandahar hospital, wasting away. Each passing hour, a battle to hang on to life. Her mother is sick and we are poor people. She tried to breastfeed her, but had no milk to give. The United Nations estimates some 3.2 million children in Afghanistan will suffer from malnutrition this winter. The call for help desperate from those on the ground.
We obliged to admit 2 patients per bed.
Physically and mentally exhausted, the team from Doctors Without Borders has painful conversations with parents each day about whether their children will live or die.
Severe pneumonia and also sepsis, septicemia. So in this condition, it's less chance for them to survive, and they are dying in the pediatric ICU.
Drought, conflict, COVID-19, and an economy left in tatters after an American withdrawal and Taliban takeover has led to soaring costs for food. Wheat, cooking oil, fuel, all up 30% compared to June.
This is going to have a detrimental effect, especially on children under 5. Right now, it looks very dark, it looks very bleak.
Between Herat and Kandahar at a rural hospital, a father visits his 8-month-old daughter, Razia. There is no work, no income, no food to bring her. Sometimes we have nothing to eat. The Canadian government recently pledged $56 million for aid organizations in the country. Ottawa says more is coming, it just won't say when.
I can't give you a definitive date right now. We have to find a way to ensure that that money is getting to organizations and then thus getting to the people of Afghanistan without engaging the Taliban.
Without more aid soon, the health system in the country will completely collapse. 80% of its funding was from international donors. That money has all but dried up. As winter sets in, conditions will only grow more dire. Travis Stanrich, CBC News, Washington.
2021 has been a year of reckoning for some big tech companies facing renewed scrutiny around the world.
They're not subject to the responsibilities of government, but they have huge power, and they're bigger than most countries.
Up next, what 2022 and beyond could mean for popular social media platforms. Plus, case numbers are exploding in almost every part of the country, but different provinces are taking different approaches to Omicron. Coming up, we'll ask Dr. Zane Chagla if any province is getting it right. He'll also tell us how the pandemic is changing. And she kept us laughing for decades.
We'll be right back after this commercial message.
All clear.
All right, who the hell is responsible?
More moments from Betty White's legendary career and reaction to her death. We're back in a moment.
I'm Anastasia Busas, host of Player's Own Voice, the podcast where athletes come to share their experiences and perspectives. Get the real story in the Player's Own Voice, available with CBC Listen and wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back. 2021 was a busy year for social media networks, contending with growing controversies and efforts at regulation. Chris Reyes looks at what triggered the disputes that seem sure to continue in 2022.
Big tech today represents the greatest accumulation of power, market power and monopoly power over information that the world has ever seen.
That power and pull of technology in our lives on full display on a sunny day in a New York City park.
Do you feel like the social media platforms have too much of a hold on your attention?
Yeah, for sure. U.S. lawmakers believe that's not the only problem. This year, politicians on both sides of the aisle tabled a long list of bills that would rein in big tech's power when it comes to data, privacy, content, and competition.
They're not subject to the responsibilities of government, but they have huge power, and they're bigger than most countries.
One area of focus for U.S. lawmakers and the Biden administration, stronger antitrust laws, including ones that would make it harder for big tech companies to buy up their competition, the way Facebook bought WhatsApp and Instagram.
Capitalism without competition, it's exploitation.
There's also renewed scrutiny on the impact of social media on society.
How is it possible for you not to at least admit that Facebook played a central role?
In March, Congress grilled CEOs of Facebook, Twitter, and Google about the January 6th Capitol riots. Their platforms taking heat for allowing the spread of misinformation that led to the attack. Then in October, an explosive testimony from Facebook employee turned whistleblower Frances Haugen.
I believe that Facebook's products harm children, stoke division in our communities, threaten our democracy.
Facebook defended its position, but also quickly shifted its focus to a surprise name change, Meta, and a new mission to focus on its metaverse platform. Not the kind of change that advocates were looking for.
I think legislation is an essential piece of the safety puzzle here. So if we don't see legislation, more people are going to be harmed.
As it stands, Democrats and Republicans have different views on what the rules should be. Tech companies and advocates have their own ideas. The only consensus seems to be this.
The time for self-regulation is over.
Chris Reyes, CBC News, New York.
With Omicron surging across the country, different provinces are fighting the spread in different ways. Up next, Dr. Zane Chagla on how the varying approaches could play out in the weeks ahead. Plus,
in the summertime, in the summer months, we have 24 hours of daylight. And so this is really the perfect opportunity.
Coming up, we revisit Old Crow, an Arctic community taking the fight against climate change into its own hands. Welcome back. For infectious disease experts around the world, the first hint of COVID came almost exactly 2 years ago. An email sent out late on December 30th, 2019. That email landing in inboxes about a pneumonia of unknown cause, the first case linked to Wuhan's South China seafood market.
It's really too early to be confident about what the disease looks like.
There is evidence of human-to-human transmission.
Wuhan quickly became the world's first COVID hotspot. To keep up with the sick, we saw Wuhan hospitals built within days, the city sealed off.
The biggest concern is here in China itself.
But the virus was already global. Within 3 months, it was killing at least 7,000 people worldwide every day. But then another December milestone, this one a year ago. The first vaccines arriving in Canada, along with hope.
Today, really, we turn the corner.
But variants of concern also arrived in Canada, and this December we're contending with Omicron and still waiting for COVID-19 to go from pandemic to endemic and hopefully less dangerous. And Dr. Zane Chagla joins us, an infectious disease specialist at St. Joseph's Healthcare in Hamilton. First of all, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Now, as we see Omicron's cases surge in many parts of the country, I'm curious about what you're seeing at your hospital.
Yeah, it's a little bit different than anything we've seen before. We have the biggest stress really being our healthcare workers going out with Omicron. They're not sick, but they can't come back to work for the isolation period, meaning staffing is getting tighter. We're seeing patients coming in with Omicron, not a ton, but they're definitely coming in. They're not as sick as prior waves. They don't necessarily need the ventilators, but they do need medical care. And then we're seeing the burdens from patients that test positive for Omicron, but are here for other reasons, like giving birth or needing an appendectomy or that type of thing. And, again, that's normal pressure, but it still adds another burden for all of us. We have to isolate those patients. They have to be in private rooms. We have to use PPE. And so, there's a lot of this going on. There's the staff positivity, there's the contact tracing, and again, the need for these healthcare beds for patients who may not be that sick, but are putting pressure on the system.
Different provinces are obviously treating this wave differently when it comes to things like testing or curfews or boosters. And from your perspective, is there any province that stands out to you as getting the response right?
This one is tough, right? And you look back to South Africa and what happened, there was this explosive wave that was, hard to contain. By the time people realized it was, time to get things under control, things came under control because so many people got infected at once. And we're seeing this around the world. And so, I think different provinces are adapting different strategies. The end result is Omicron is going to keep finding people, whether or not, you lock down, wait 2 weeks, it's going to continue to find people after that. And so, strategies that look at the healthcare system as a whole, look at preservation of the healthcare system as a whole, and react to that, I think are probably the most reasonable.
Yeah, so there seems to be this inevitability that most of us are going to get exposed to it, so trying to spread out, those cases over a longer period of time, I guess. But for people who are watching who are particularly vulnerable to getting very sick, so let's say immunocompromised people, elderly people, how do we deal with those people given how widespread Omicron is?
Yeah, those are individuals that need to be careful. They need to wear the best quality mask they can find. They, need to get their third doses of vaccine if they haven't. And, if they do develop symptoms, they need to be prioritized for testing. We have monoclonal antibodies. We've administered them to immunocompromised individuals with amazing results. We'll have treatments coming down the pipeline. And so, those people need to be really escalated for testing and escalated for treatment aggressively when the time comes.
We have just 20 seconds left, but do you see that light at the end of the tunnel?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, immunity is coming. The people that are going to get Omicron are going to develop really robust immunity for the future. And hopefully that's it. That takes us through this being an endemic disease and not leading to the healthcare strain that we've seen for so many years.
Dr. Chagla, thanks for speaking with us.
No problem. All the best.
The effects of climate change are already being felt in Canada's far north, and one remote community isn't waiting to take action.
That we can make these changes, a small little community up in the north, to make these big changes.
Coming up, the fight against climate change in Old Crow. Plus,
From the way we order coffee to where we play as children. These are words that color our existence.
Why some are pushing for an updated dictionary of Canadian words. For those who live in the isolated beauty of the Arctic, the impact of climate change is everywhere. It affects almost every aspect of their lives, from the landscape to what's on their plates. And so some people in the north are working to find solutions to our warming planet. 130 kilometers north of the Arctic Circle is the fly-in community of Old Crow. There, the Vuntut First Nation is leading the way, not just for themselves, but to try to show the rest of the world better is possible. Adrienne went to visit.
As an elder in Old Crow in the Yukon, Lorraine Natro is a keeper of traditions and apparently the woman with a front row seat to the future. Because look at that, right outside her living room window, an ambitious solar project, a solution to a problem that plagues the North.
What do they offer you here?
They offer us clean energy. We've always been diesel reliant. We live in the Arctic, so in the summertime, in the summer months, we have 24 hours of daylight. And so this is really the perfect opportunity.
This is in your front yard, right? These solar panels. This is not natural. This is not a natural part of the landscape.
It took some getting used to. I look out my front window and this is what I see. The solar project right on our berry patch. We had to make that decision as elders in this community and how are we going to be part of this solution. When they were turned on this past spring and I felt a sense of pride.
And blueberry. Is it any wonder? Because through a climate-conscious lens, there is an uncomfortable reality here. Like all off-grid northern communities, Old Crow relies on diesel, which is flown in several times a year. Fuel burned just to bring in more fuel. The emissions produced from using all that diesel equivalent to 500 transatlantic flights a year. And the constant low hum that's been the community's soundtrack for nearly 50 years. But when the solar panels turned on this summer, the generators turned off for the very first time. That means a saving of 189,000 liters of fuel over a year. Doing their bit to combat climate change is more than an altruistic act. It's as urgent as the long worried hunters now readying to go up the mountain. Up there on the range, the porcupine caribou herd have finally been spotted. Inexplicably late, arriving here in curiously smaller numbers, but to be seen at all, a relief. Charging ahead, Old Crow's Deputy Chief Paul Josie, a dad and hunter anxious about what climate change is doing to the landscape. Sometimes simple but devastating shifts.
You see where the caribou kind of come down this way.
I guess if you've got a big caribou snout, it's easier, right?
And their hooves.
Digging around for snow-buried lichen, the caribou's crucial food. Problem is, when the weather's warmer, rain or wet snow forms ice on top of it.
So if the ice forms over the lichen, then the caribou can't get it, eh?
Well, right now they got so much snow to remove and that burns energy. And then they hit that layer of ice.
Yeah.
And then they got to break the ice just to get to the plants.
So it's not worth it for them?
It's harder because they're trying to conserve as much energy.
Food blocked by ice can steer them away from these grounds. So can this willow shrub choking the trails. This may be part of why the caribou's patterns seem to be shifting.
Climate change, a lot of water is coming down and also dries up, but there's also a lot of growth because we have longer periods of warmth, and a lot of the soil's got a longer active layer, so the willow just grows rapid and grows thicker It's taking up a lot of nutrients. Like animals can get through it, but not easily, that they'll try to avoid it, and that changes their path.
And that shrub is everywhere, crowding out needed berry patches. Some berry harvests were thin this year after a record-breaking hot, dry summer. The apparent effects from a shifting climate visible mountainside and in the exceptionally low riverbeds. The Chinook and chum salmon haven't returned in needed numbers. The warmer, wetter winter conditions leading to more permafrost thaw, drained lakes and slides, known as thaw slumps. This land is struggling. Enough that Old Crow became among the first Indigenous communities to declare a climate emergency in 2019, which means anxiety for those who live here about food insecurity and what may be next.
And when that's on the ground, then it freezes over, it covers.
At a camp on the mountainside, elders like Lorraine and young leaders talk of the future. Regardless of what the rest of the world does, Old Crow has made a promise to be carbon neutral by 2030.
But I do believe that in the future, like, this is the only fighting chance that we have, because like the reality is you won't be able to depend on gas forever. Like, everybody knows that, and losing my train of thought with the shots.
It's such a good sound. Faint pops of gunshots in the distance entirely change the mood. They know the hunters have succeeded.
You know that we still practice our way of life, and the land is our teacher. Absolutely. And just hearing those shots is it's really emotional. Yeah.
Preserving their traditions takes work and ingenuity in a shifting climate. So Old Crow is gathering data on wind power to get through the dark winters. Even that annoying willow shrub happens to be an excellent biofuel. Determining how to harvest it is the next project. And if they can make it all work, just maybe the diesel generators will soon turn off entirely.
We're just trying to make these changes to start a ripple effect, that we can make these changes, a small little community up in the north, to make these big changes that we could try and make our difference and our impact.
So this is sinew.
Mary Jane Moses, who was so emotional at the sound of those shots, is so calm at home working with the meat.
Is pride the right word to describe how you might feel about your community and the innovation?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, really. I hope that when people see this on TV, that they get motivated to make change in their community, and good changes, and so that we can adapt to climate change and still practice our way of life.
This is the balance they want, and it takes effort from everyone. Those who hunt feeling responsible for making sure all of Old Crow eats this summer, knowing the herd may be here only fleetingly. Whatever they gather, they share. Good news for the ravens, too.
Fills my heart with joy. You know, I got 3 grandsons, and they like the taste of caribou and moose, and there's certainly going to be chow in tonight, that's for sure.
From high above the Arctic Circle, a community leading the way for all. Adrienne, Arsenault, CBC News, Old Crow.
Well, part of what makes us distinct as Canadians is how we speak.
Every place, every region, every country has its own words.
Coming up, documenting Canada's unique words.
I'm Jamie Poisson. Join me for CBC's daily news podcast, Front Burner. Every weekday, Front Burner takes you deep into the stories shaping Canada and the world. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
In this country, you can hire a keener to muck out your eaves troughs while you relax on the Chesterfield. I feel like most of you know those Canadian terms, and if you don't, you can look it up in the Canadian Oxford Dictionary. It was first published in 1998, but there hasn't been a new version in nearly 2 decades. As Eli Glasner explains, some passionate Canucks want to fix that.
What do you call this?
A notebook.
A duotang.
What?
Oh, what? Canadian English is filled with words that are uniquely ours, like toque, or double-double, or even washroom.
Every place, every region, every country has its own words that we use that no one else uses.
For decades, the Canadian Oxford Dictionary was the definitive reference manual, thanks to founding editor Catherine Barber.
And if you buy a case of these, you have that uniquely Canadian word, a 2-4.
But the last time it was updated was 2004. With the Canadian staff laid off soon after, the work of finding new words is now the job of Oxford English Dictionary staff in the UK and US.
I definitely think it puts Canadian English at a disadvantage, or at the very least, it doesn't give it the same kind of visibility and representation as you see for other varieties.
But as a Canada Research Chair, Sally Tagliamonte has taken it upon herself to submit new words for consideration to Oxford.
My job is to get more Canadian words into that dictionary so that instead of having like just over 200 words that are designated as Canadian or even Ontario, that there will be more words.
That's why if you look up the phrase bush party in the online Oxford Dictionary, you'll see a Canadian citation. A pleasant surprise for the linguist who submitted it.
I can't believe it. It's the first time I've actually verified whether they used my words.
While some publishers and editors' organizations are discussing creating a new Canadian dictionary, Tagliamonte wants more Canadians to appreciate their distinct differences.
From the way we order coffee to where we play as children, these are words that color our existence and lead us to have connections between people.
Words hopefully captured in a new dictionary to call our own. Eli Glasner, CBC News, Toronto.
I love the Canadian Oxford. I used to give it out as gifts to people. I'm not sure if the people who got it loved it as much as I did. Anyway, I hope they do have a new edition. When we come back, the enduring legacy of Betty White. We'll show you some of the tributes posted today on social media.
I'm Anastasia Busas, host of Player's Own Voice, the podcast where athletes come to share their experiences and perspectives. Get the real story in the Player's Own Voice. Available with CBC Listen and wherever you get your podcasts.
Betty White's popularity spanned generations and genres, and her death at the age of 99 has prompted an outpouring on social media. What was said and by whom? The tributes to Betty White is our moment.
We'll be right back after this commercial message.
All clear.
All right, who the hell is responsible?
Seth Meyers tweeted, Betty White was the only Saturday Night Live host I ever saw get a standing ovation at the after party. A party at which she ordered a vodka and a hot dog and stayed till the bitter end.
Joanne. Yes, Lou.
Could you do me a favor?
Well, maybe on my lunch hour.
From Oscar winner Viola Davis, you blew a huge hole in this world that will inspire generations.
I'm Betty frickin' White, and this is Jay-Z.
Acclaimed writer and social commentator Roxane Gay tweeted, Betty was charming, delightful, hilarious, talented, and unproblematic for 99.9 years.
Boy, there is nothing more frustrating than waiting for one of these suckers to rise, and it just won't.
And today, Dictionary.com included in its definition of golden, along with lustrous and full of happiness, Betty White. It's been great to see all the footage over the years and her stardom that endures. And tonight, I think various people will be looking at various things on YouTube. I would suggest the scenes from Mary Tyler Moore. I thought that was her at her best. That is the National for this last night of 2021. Happy New Year.